Alright, hello, Jeff Scott once again, and for the AWD1111 .NET Framework with Web Databases class for today, Monday the 14th of October, we started to go over our project, our sales orders project for our Mythical Bike store. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to turn the tape recorder on for the first part of the lecture, so I'm redoing it now. I would strongly suggest that people, especially if you don't remember, you go back out, and I'm just going to type in here, Tim Corey GitHub. I would suggest that you stop, go back and take a look at this getting started with Git tutorial. Now, it doesn't have to be this one. There's a lot of Git tutorials out there. All right. So again, oops, don't want that. It's Git Tutorial for Beginners, a Quick Start Guide from Tim Corey. All right. And it's as good as probably any other one out there that I've come in contact with. So again, there it is. Git Tutorial for Beginners, a Quick Start Guide. And there is the YouTube link. All right. But what I asked the class to do was we got to start using YouTube. We have to start using GitHub. So I asked people to please go out to github.com, and once you are logged in, to go in and start a project, create a new project or a new repository. And I told you, this will not let me do this, of course, but to call it sales orders. Now you'll notice it says I already have one that exists on here. So let me just for now change it to sales order. All right. And the description, just something along the lines of InClass, ASP.NET MVC5 database application for a mythical bicycle shop. Something like that would be fine. Make it private. Go down to the Git ignore, and in the box here, type in one word, Visual Studio. All right, and choose that. Now I'm going to pause for a second. You can hear I'm at home, and you can hear my grandfather clock going. So I'm just going to pause for a moment here. All right, so to continue on then, yeah, you can add a README, for the current project. Again, make sure that, didn't want to do that. Just want to tell it to make a README. So, let's see, yeah, there's the README. Let's see, that's the old one, so I want to get back to where it was. Oh, doggone it. Well, let's try it again. Sales orders 2. All right, description again. InClass, ASP.NET MVC5 database, SQL server database application for a mythical bicycle shop. Okay, make it private, as I said. You can initialize the repository with a README. Go to Git ignore, and again type in Visual Studio and include that there in your ignore. Now again, I don't know what happened there. Okay, all right. Create the repository. There's a start. So I have, as I already mentioned, then we'll start up Visual Studio 2019, and we are supposed to create a new project in here that's called sales orders. Well, I've already got one because I did it with the class today. So I will create a new project. It's an ASP.NET web application for C#, and I'll call it, notice if I say sales orders, and I tell it that I want it to go into the desktop. It may give me an error sooner or later, but I'll just say 2 here. All right, I don't think I've got a number 2. We'll see. All right, so click Create. We want this to be an MVC project with MVC, but we also want to come in and where it says no authentication up here, we want to click change and choose individual user accounts. All right. And what that will do is it will create a couple more things for us that I'll show you in just a minute. All right, click create. And that should pretty quickly at least create the project for us. Now, what is a little bit different in this project, and I can close this because I don't need it. I have in here in my controllers, I have an account controller and a manage controller. I'm not going to open those. All right. And also in my views, I've got an account and a manage. Okay. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go into my local DB projects V13 folder. I am going to right mouse click on databases, choose add a new database, type in sales order. All right, we did sales order 2 for the class, so it really doesn't matter. There's sales order. I'm going to right mouse click on it and go to new query. All right. Then in the files that I gave you today, the files that are in here, we just went through these one at a time. So first we did the schema. And I put that in. I click here and commands completed successfully. This is the same one that we used last time with a couple of differences. These used to always all be called cust. I made them customer. All right. These used to be called emp. I made them employee. These used to be called vend. I made them vendor. This table has changed quite a bit. I added a short and a long description. I added an image. I changed this from product number to product name ID. Again, we added an image. And this was called retail price. I changed it to product price. This was called quantity on hand. I changed it to product quantity, QTY. Again, this became, instead of product number, it's product ID. All right, this was order number, and I made it order ID. All right, other than that, basically it's the same stuff that we looked at before. So let me open a bunch of these. 0 was the schema. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let me open those up. All right, see if I can try to do them in order. There was the categories. All right. So what we did when we started here was we did come in, and now under sales orders, under tables, we have our tables, but now we're going to populate them. All right. So again, new query. There was the categories. If I tell it to run, I just get all these rows affected. So that's a good start. All right. Next we had number 2, which was our customers. And you'll notice that once we run this, we get the same thing. Whoops. All right, just a row, executed, etc. So those worked. Next, so we put in our categories and our customers. Now we're our employees. Run it. Our employees worked. All right, next was our vendors. Whoops. And there our vendors worked. Next was our products, and again, that's the one that had changed. Notice we will be referencing images that we'll bring in just a couple minutes. There those are. All right. 3 more tables here. The next one is product vendors. And there they are. Then we've got orders and order details. These are the biggest tables that are in here. So there's orders, and those are all in there. And then finally we have order detail. Orders details, order details. All right. And again, you can see those are in there. Now, just to, for lack of better words, to prove this, I'm going to do a select star from categories, and there are 6 of them. There they are. Select star from customers. And I don't remember how many of them there are, but I think it's like 27. There we go. Select star from employees. And we've got 8 employees. Select star from products. And there are our products. Notice we have nothing in the short or the long description, and our images just has the path where those images live. Let's do product vendors. You can see those. Vendors. There they are. Orders. And there were like over 900 orders, so you can just see some of them here. And finally, order details. And there were over 3,000 of those. So there they all are. Okay, so I just wanted to prove to you that indeed when we did this, everything worked. We now have our populated database. All right, okay, so that was the first thing that we did. Then we went over and we went into our content folder right here. Right mouse clicked on it, it shows add and new folder, and made a new folder here called images. All right, after we created that folder, we right mouse clicked on it. Again, shows add. This time we choose existing item. And if you go to what I sent you this afternoon, this 10/14/2019 sales orders 2, we can open up the images folder, click on any image, do a Control-A to highlight all of them, add. And now I have 40 images in here, which is what I wanted. All right. So to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So sales orders, yeah. Schema. All right. Then after we did all this, I believe at least the next thing that we did, was we went in and let's close the images folder. In fact, let's close that and the content folder. So now, and our controllers, we don't have much of anything open now, and our views. All right, next we right mouse clicked on the models folder, chose add, new item, went over here to data. All right, went to ADO.NET data model, call this model sales orders context. All right, clicked add, and it'll start up the wizard for us. We want the EF designer from database. All right, we have to make a new connection here. That new connection should be in here, again, in our local DB / projects V13. And when we click down here, our sales orders should be in there. I guess I called it sales order, which is fine. All right, click OK. All right, and everything is cool as far as I can tell. Now it asks for a name. Sales order entities is fine. I'm going to click next, and it says, what do you want to bring in? We only have tables, so I'll click here and here, and I'm just going to click right there. All these checked because we want to bring in all 8 tables. Let's call this, instead of sales order, let's see. We'll leave this as sales orders model. That's fine. And it's sales order model. I don't think it really matters very much if we say order or orders. All right, I'm going to click finish. All right. Again, I'm following the steps that we did as a class. Now, in your models folder, 2 things to bring up to you. The first thing, as soon as this gets done, all right, there is our model. Now, we could make that look like this, which was the original database that we started with. We could do that. All right, I could move stuff around, etc., but it's really truly not that important. I'm not going to do anything with this. I'm just going to close it. And under our models, and in particular under the models, under sales orders context.tt, there are our tables that were created for us. They're the classes that represent the tables. So for example, for products, there it is. All right. Now, it does say this was auto-generated, so we shouldn't go monkeying with it. So I won't. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to close this up as well. All right. Well, we don't need that open either. I'm going to close that. In fact, let's close the whole shebang. There, everything's closed right now. All right. The next thing that we did was we went in and we made 4 empty controllers. So I'm going to right mouse click on controller, add, controller, empty, add, and the first one, I'm just going to do them alphabetically, is called cart controller. The second one, I'm going to do all of them just the same way, then we'll go back. Controller, controller again, empty. So the second one is called login controller. Add that. The third one, again, they're all empty. The third one is going to be called register controller. And then finally, the last one will be called shop controller. All right, now we've created those controllers. We're not going to have to monkey with most of them, but I'm going to come down here, and each one of these that we just added, I'm going to start with cart. I'm going to do an add, view. I'm going to call it index. All right, empty without model, but I do want the use a layout page chosen. Click add, and this is my cart. So all I'm going to say in here is shopping cart page. All right, so that's the first one. Whoop, I lost the rest of my H2 tag. All right, then I'm going to come in, and under my login, I'm going to do the same thing. Add, view, index, empty, use a layout page, add, and this is going to say login page. Why I'm losing that. All right, then my third one will be register. Right mouse click, add, view, again index, oops, index, again empty, again use a layout page, add, and this is my register page. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I think I hit my insert key. There we go. All right, so that's the register page. And then finally, I've got shop. Right mouse click, add, view, index, empty, use a layout page, and this will just say, well, it's going to be where we shop, so we'll call it our products page. All right. Now I've saved. That's good. We're about half done already. So, all right. Next, I want to go into the layout file. So under Views Shared is my layout file. I'm going to take what's in there and almost, not quite, but almost get rid of it. Let's see, I'm going off my notes here, so give me a second, please. There we go. All right. So I'll keep the doc type. I'll keep the head section. I'm going to get rid of my body section that's in here now. Just get rid of all of it, and I'm going to replace it. So, all right. Div ID equal header. H1, it'll just say here, I don't know, the bike shop. And that's it actually for that div. Then another div, ID equal main for our main content. All right, with a div inside of there. And I'm going to say here, style. I'm going to actually kind of break the rules and do some inline CSS. Equals width 20%, float left. All right, and I'm going to have an H2 tag in here that says menu. All right, where we're going to actually build a menu of hyperlinks. It'll look very ugly. Move this over quite a bit here. All right, so add HTML.action link. Remember this home right here, that is what the link is going to say. This is the method that will be called. All right, and this is the name of the controller that will hold that method. All right, so I actually want 5 of these. First one is home. The second one will be shop, with shop. The third one will be cart, with cart. The fourth one will be login, with login. And the last one will be register, with register. All right, so that's very simply, at least, that is my menu. And then finally, I'm going to have one more div here with a style that's going to be equal to width of 80%, because this is going to be all the rest of the material, float left. And just my render body. All right. So that's that. So I have now rewritten the underscore layout.cs HTML file. I didn't touch the head. I went into the body, added a header section, added a main section, okay, and I put in 5 hyperlinks and not really all that much else, to be honest with you. All right. After that, I went back to my home page. So under Views, Home, I went to my index page here. All right. And I kept this, which says home page, and got rid of just about everything else that's in here. All right. And I replaced it with doc type, oopsie, HTML. And in my head, this stuff we have been using, meta, name equal viewport, content equal width equal device width, all right, followed by my title, which I just kept as viewbag, viewbag dot title. All right, and the reason I'm getting this is I don't have a body section in there, so it's not technically. Now notice as soon as I put that in, the error goes away. Then I went out to bicycle.lipsum. Grabbed a paragraph. Ipsum, not lipsum. All right, so I just wanted a paragraph. There it is. Okay, and back to here. Put it in there. Now you don't have to do this, and you're going to end up changing this anyway, but you'll see hopefully what I did and why I did it in just a minute. So there's a paragraph. All right, so there's my paragraph. Doesn't look fantastic. It isn't meant to be honest with you. So I put it in here 2 more times. All right, so there it is. And I'm going to save. There's my ending body and my ending HTML tag, and I'm going to run this. Now again, as mentioned, it won't look very pretty right now, and basically it's not meant to. All right, because you've got a lot of work that you're going to be doing on this. All right, so once this comes up under home index, there it is. All right. But notice shop, products page, cart, shopping cart page, login, login page, register, register page. So it's all working right now, and that's good. All right. So we went in and we changed our layout and we changed the index HTML under our home folder. Now let's go to our shop controller. We have to add just a couple lines of code. Go to our shop controller here. All right. And we're going to come in here and let's just leave all this stuff that's in here. And I'm going to put private in fact, let's do one more using sales orders to dot models. All right. Now, private sales it's not finding anything, which isn't a great sign. Right? And I think the reason we're getting that is we actually want that in here. There we go. All right, so we've got that. It's telling me it doesn't like something that's in here. So let's try it again. So private sales, maybe it's sales orders entities, I don't know. DB equals new sales orders entities, paren, bing. All right. All right. Okay, then inside of here we have to make one more change to var data. Data is just a name we came up with, equal db.products dot select, and then we're going to do a lambda p dot order by p dot product name. What we're telling the system to do, just so you're aware of this, is we're saying we want you to go in and go through the entire products table, grab every field, and show me what information I ask to be shown, but order it by product name. And we want to return that data that we have just grabbed right there. Whoops, there we go. All right. So let's see, again, I'm following my notes here. So we changed the shop controller. Now we want to go into the index.cshtml for the shop. So there's our shop, and there's the index. Right now, not too much in there. We're going to make some changes. All right. Let's see. I am at 31 minutes, and the lecture was actually about 50 minutes, so it'll probably be pretty close. So the first thing I want to do is come in there, and at the top, I want my @model, IEnumerable, sales orders dot models dot product. All right. My title, I'll change this from index to sales orders products page. Sounds pretty good. And this can say the bike shop products page. Okay. Then I want to start by creating a table here. And class equal table, which means I want to bring in the bootstrap table class. All right, and the first thing I want to do is I want to put in my headings. That's an @html.display name for model lambda model.product name. All right. And I'm going to copy this a few times. Why? Because I'm going to do the same thing basically and just change the name. So I've got product name, and the next thing I want will be the product image, and the next thing I want after that will be the short description, or DESC short, and then finally I want the product price. All right, so not sure why, but they want a TH in there. I wanted a TH in there also. So that's that. That's got our headings. Now, I didn't even try this in the class, but I'm going to save it, and I'm going to try to run it. If it does what I think it will do, it's going to just show me my headings, which is totally fine. There we go. All right, and I should be able to go to the home page, and I can. All right, and go back again, and really go to any page. All right, so let's stop the run, and that is half of our table, but just half. Okay, so let's put in the other half of the table. And again, I misplaced my... You'll have to bear with me for just a second. I apologize. All right, so here. Now we come in here. And we've got a razor statement that says for each. All right. Going through this, and I've got a dog in here too who's trying to get nuts with the neighbors. So item in model. All right. And in here, we're going to have another TR, but now instead of having our THs, we're going to have our TDs, our table data. And I'm just going to copy this. In fact, I'm going to copy all of these. You'll see why in a second. All right. Well, that didn't work very well. So, come in here. Oh, cripes. Okay, I'll just do it this way. At html.display4, the display name for is a label. The display for is the heading. So this will be model item. Item dot product name. Okay, now again I'm going to come in here and I'm going to copy this. So I've got that in there 4 times. Let me move this over. Try to make it look a little nicer. So there's the product name. Then I'll want the product image. Then I'll want the product description short. And finally, I'll want the product price. That should be everything, I believe. And I'm going to run it again. Now, the difference is I should now have data in here with this. And there we go. Now, the description is null. And you'll notice there's no $sign here. I can't do much about that. This is being generated, though, from the database. So if I do want a $sign there, I can come up to my product price, put a $sign before the @ sign, save this, and run it again. And now what you should notice is that what I will get in here the next time is I will have $signs. Not like that's a big thing, but there they are. So again, my home is done for now. My shop is getting there, and I've done virtually nothing for the cart, for the login, and for the register. So let's talk about what you're going to do. All right? All right, so again, these are our requirements for Part 1. Notice, worth 150 points, due 2 weeks from today by the end of the period. I'm going to lecture like I did today for about half the period, third of the period, whatever, and the rest of the period was lab. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the same thing. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be lab. Please remember that a week from today, you have this Hot 4, this blogger thing that I gave you, and it's due on that date. No exceptions. All right, so here. Okay, here's your requirements. If you're asked to provide any of your own content, this is a thing for a bike shop. I expect the content. I expect this to be done professionally. All right, I already said that you should make a Git repository. No, we're not. That's called sales orders, and do versioning every day. We're not going to use the flash drive. So add a short professional description for each product. Just a sentence or two, but again, real info. Then you have to update the database with that. Then you're going to add a long description. Don't do this until at least tomorrow, because I'm going to show you what I'm looking for in there. And again, this will take more time and effort, and again, you'll do an update on the database. 10 points, 25 points. Then there's 6 things you have to do with Bootstrap. First, I want you to take the layout that currently looks like this, and I want you to make it look more like what we had for our sports store project. In other words, I want these to look like buttons. So you will use Bootstrap to do that. If you say, I don't know how, go to getbootstrap.com and look on how to make a hyperlink look like a button, or literally just Google it. All right. Second, make the table we create look more professional. How do you do that? Well, again, here's the table, and it doesn't look terrible, but this should be 2 words. In fact, you really only need their name, image, description, and price. something like that. So I'll expect you to do that. All right, then I want you to go back. We took the nav bar out of our layout, put it back in. And at the top of the page where it usually has home, followed by about, followed by contact, I want it to have those. It'll also should have the, I would think, the other links in there for login, etc., and register. All right. Take that inline CSS that I put in, because again, that's very bad practice, and replace it either with your own CSS or with Bootstrap, or both. Add Bootstrap classes to the page links to make the product pagination, which we'll go over tomorrow, look more like it did in the Sports Store project. Anything else I put Bootstrap, or anything that uses Bootstrap or uses CSS that will make your project look more professional. Tomorrow we'll also go over partial views. All right. Finally, two more things. First, when you add your content, I want a real home page. I don't want your home page to look like this. All right. I want it to have real content. You can put video or videos on there, images, a slideshow, whatever you want, but the more ornate it is, the better. All right, same thing with your about page. Your contact page should have a real Bootstrap form. I made one here real quickly, but it's something along these lines where you ask the user for a bunch of information. This should also be validated. All right, and just make every field mandatory. That's what I did. All right, so again, if you have any questions, because I went over this very quickly, I did it in 42 minutes. All right, but if you have any questions, please just ask in class tomorrow. All right, thank you.